How Wosha Michael Larson, Wosha Neiman Depungyu. Hello, everybody. This is Mike Larson from BBC IML, and this is a moment with Mike. So I'm down by Lake Superior. I'm on the deck down by the lake right now. It's just a beautiful evening, a little on the warm side, but it's a beautiful evening. You can see Lake Superior behind me. But I chose a little different subject this evening and talk about foundation. So this deck here, my father and my mother built about, almost 20 years ago now. And this was my grandmother and grandpa and grandmother's house that they built back in 1954. And they originally built a dock down here that had a couple of piers that went out into the water. There was a nice big sun deck down there, and there was a stairway to go down there. Well, the dock got wiped out by a big storm back in 1984, and this lake is really tough on docks and breakwaters and all kinds of different things. But wiped out the dock, and eventually the stairway and everything crumbled. But when my parents got here, they decided they wanted to take better advantage of the lake, so they built this stair system and the deck, and then the stairway that went down to the road. So much of a good time on this dock. Doesn't look like I've got the greatest connection here right now, but at any rate, I spent so much good time out on this dock, and it takes a good foundation to keep this deck up and to keep this stairway up. A great foundation. And a few years, in the last 10 to 15 years, we've had a lot of rain up here in the North Country, and the lake is really high. It used to be we had beach all along the lakefront down here, but now the lake has come up into the rocks, and it's up probably 2 feet over what the traditional height of the lake was. So when that comes up that high, and then you get the storms here, we can get, 14, 15-foot waves coming into this shoreline here. And when the lake is up that high, it really damages the shoreline, and it washes the shoreline away. And you can see how trees over here are leaning, and the shoreline has washed their foundation out from underneath them, and then they have a tough time standing up. And the deck here, I am going to have to repair because it is gradually sliding down the hill, which is a shame. All the good times we spent on here. And so I'm either going to have to take this deck out of here, or I'm going to have to fix it. And I'm kind of leaning towards the latter, taking the deck out and bringing it up top and building a deck up top, because the whole hillside has slid down. There's a step at the top up there that used to be, when I was a kid, about 2 feet from the edge, and now the edge is in the middle of it, so it's moved in by as much as 30 inches, and that will continue to happen as long as this lake is this high. But it made me think about the good things we have in life. Everything good we have in life, we build a good foundation first. And the foundation is built on integrity and moral compass and a lot of other things. And it's built on a dream or a goal of something we want to achieve. And that dream or that goal was such an important thing to us that we took the time to build a foundation to build it upon. But sometimes we get complacent in life. And we get so complacent with enjoying what that is that we forget sometimes all the hard work it took to get in there, and we forget where we came from. And where we came from is sometimes a difficult place. That's why building a good foundation before you get to the point where you can enjoy life, where you can enjoy things, is very important. This has happened to a lot of celebrities around the world. I think most recently was Robin Williams, a guy that had so much to live for, you'd think, and he made making people happy a part of his life, and he changed so many people's. Not only was he an incredible comedian, but he was also an incredible actor. And you think about a guy like that he had all that to live for, and then he went and did what he did, unfortunately. And what happened was is he forgot where he came from, and he let that foundation slip out from underneath him. And he forgot he didn't look at all the things he created and all the things he had achieved and where he had come from, but he looked at where he was, and he couldn't find that happiness anymore. He lost the foundation that he built all of that on. And we have to remember that. We have to keep that in mind. If we're going to create something great in our lives, the first thing we have to do is we have to create a great foundation for it. And then we can never forget where we came from. The reason that we're going to make and create that greatness in our lives, we can never lose that. We have to keep that. We have to keep that big why. And if that why isn't good enough for us, then we have to rebuild that foundation again on something that is big enough for us. We can't focus on what we don't have anymore. We have to focus on why we're continuing to do it and all that we've created doing that. So I guess Zeus is going to give us his 2 cents worth also, but that's what thinking about this deck and this stair system here, and all the good times we had in it, and the foundation it was built on, and now that foundation is slipping out from underneath it, and we either have to find a better place, a better foundation to build it on, or we have to figure out a new idea. But we can't be complacent in it, or we lose things like that. So I hope this finds you well. I hope you have a super fantastic day. And I am on here every evening at 7 o'clock. And if you have something that you'd like me to talk about, I'd like you to email me at mike@inspiredmotivatedleadership.com, or you can message me on Messenger. Message me on Messenger. Look for me at Inspired Motivated Leadership on Facebook, and some of the products we offer there. These are the types of things that I go into depth with on our products, and how to create a good life, how to add value to yourself and add value to others. And that's what life should be about, is adding value. So once again, have a super fantastic evening. I hope this finds you well, and we will see you tomorrow night.